ladies. I know I am back with a brand new topic. Yes, of course, it is in front of you. That is a water cycle. Isn't it interesting? I know it is so interesting. Damn good. Let's dive into the topic. First of all, we have to know about what is the goal of the today's class, main objective of the class. So first of all, we have to find that how many phases that exist in a water cycle and name all these phases and name all the steps that water cycle contain, and then afterward obviously recognize the force that is required for the water cycle. So this is all about the object we are going to discuss in today's class. Let's go forward now. First of all, we have to understand what the exactly meaning of the water cycle it is. Water is neither created nor destroyed. That's very important information that you have to keep in your mind always. The same water you drink, the same water that your great grandparents drank, and the same water also drank by the dinosaurs once. Oh my God, it's a so deep and so interesting, isn't it? Yeah, think about it. Because water can neither be created nor be destroyed. It only and only can be recycled from one place to the another. I hope the very first point of the water cycle is clear to you. Let's move forward now. We already know that there are three phases of the water. One is a solid that like ice, one is a liquid that like of water, and third one is water vapors like vapors that present in the clouds, gas vapors, definitely. So these are all the phases of the water. And if I talk about it is like a recycling of the water, all these phases are including in that particular scenario. So you have to keep that all these things in your mind. Let's move further. Like, what are the phases of the water in our environment? Okay, so now you can see here, this is a river, this is a water body where it is the water in the form of liquid. And if you see the glaciers, beautiful glaciers, these are the solid water because it is obviously a solid ice. And if I talk about all these things, water are vaporizing from one place to the another place, then it is water vapor, which is actually present in the atmosphere in the form of teeny droplets of water in the form of vapors or gas. Now we are going to discuss about the water cycle. Water cycle itself means that water changes phases from one phase to the another phase, like sometime from liquid to gas, from gas to liquid, from gas to solid also sometimes. So this is all about the changes of the phase that occurs in the water cycle itself. So water cycle is nothing else but it is a process where the water changes its phase from one to the another. Okay. Now we are going forward to a topic that the different kind of evaporation, condensation and other processes. Now first is liquid into a gas. When you just place a warm water on the table for some time, it actually become cold after 10-15 minutes. What is it? It is nothing else but evaporation. Evaporation is a process when the form of the liquid is changes into the form of the vapor in the presence of heat. That is evaporation. Isn't it interesting? Yeah, we have another topic, another video with this process only because this is very interesting yet very deep topic. So we'll cover it in one of our upcoming class. Don't worry, buckle your seat belts and just deep dive into the topic itself. Let's move forward to the another interesting process. That so already we know that if water changes from water phase to the vapor phase, that is evaporation. Now, what happened in the question that liquid to gas, we already know that water, what powers the evaporation of the water? Obviously, it is a sun or a heat. You have to remember that thing. See, there it is. Like sun is needed for the evaporation. Sun is in the form of thermal energy. So, with the thermal energy or with the heat energy, the water form of the liquid actually changes into the gaseous form due to the heating of the water. So this is evaporation. Okay, now try this experiment very well because it's a safe experiment, so you can perform it in your home as well. Take 2 glass of water. One glass has to be put in the classroom or in your home, and second glass in the ground, in the playground or in the open area where the sun directly can just strike their sun strike their actual rays on the water. So after some time, you have to notice that why did thing that happen, that some water in the presence of the sun actually evaporates. See, that much amount of water will going to evaporate. Let's see that thing if you perform it or not. Okay, now the second process we already mentioned from the liquid to gas, but now we are going to deep dive into the topic. What is gas to liquid? Gas to liquid, it is condensation. Condensation is that water droplet crystals together forming clouds. We know that condensation because water change into the now already gaseous form of waters are present in the droplets of the cloud. So these teeny droplets accumulated and form the water, form the clouds. This is condensation. What do you think about the condensation? Condensation is like moreover to gases phase changes into the liquid phase. So isn't it interesting? I know it's a little bit kind of a theoretical, but you have to experience in your daily life itself. If you just see these all processes in your daily life, then it would be more easy for you to understand. Isn't it true that you are just going to be understanding all these processes in the daily life? Yeah, I know that. This is good. Okay, now you have to try this experiment very well in your home because it's very interesting and you have to have performed this particular experiment in the home. Take 2 glass of water. One is this, second is this. One glass filled with water and the second glass placed upside down on that water glass. And just put an eyes on the upper glass. After some time, what will you see? Let me know that thing in the comment box. Yes, of course. Okay, now we are going to discuss the very beautiful phenomena on the earth, which you also enjoy a lot. I know that you enjoy it is rain and we are going to discuss that thing. I know you love to play in the rains. So, what is rain? Rain is nothing else but it is a precipitation. Now, what is the precipitation? The precipitations are like when enough water condense into the clouds because the clouds are also have their own capacity. So when lots of water thus condense into the one cloud, the drops get so heavy because the clouds get so heavy itself, so they fall on the ground. They fall on the ground from the cloud. It is nothing else but precipitation. So, water can fall as rain or a snow or a sleet or a hail if it is a cold enough. Obviously, if you are present in the Shimla or Manali or a Jammu Kashmir where the temperature is so low, then it would be not particularly rain. It would be like moreover hail, moreover snow. So that is a difference. But it all these things are precipitation, whether it is in a water form, whether it is in a snow form. So this is all about the precipitation. Yes. So now tell me, what force do you think that which is possible to make precipitation to fall to the earth? Because clouds is present in the sky, but these teeny droplets actually come from the clouds and touch the ground from one place to the another place, from the higher one to lower one. So this is precipitation. According to you, just pause the video and think about it. According to you, what is the actual forces behind it? Okay, tried enough? Now let's move forward. Nothing else but gravity. Gravity pulls the rain and snow, obviously, from the clouds to the ground. So this is all about the gravity force. Because of the gravity, we know that gravity make that possible. From higher place to the lower place, it would come fall into the ground. So it is kind of a runoff. Definitely it is like of a runoff, because the upper place where the clouds are present, they have accumulated some water, and the water come into the contact of the ground one day, because clouds are going to be become very heavy at a point, and after some time it would fell off. This is runoff. Obviously it is runoff. Definitely. So this is all about the gravity. When just clouds are having enough of water and water came into the ground, then it actually covered into the collected into the rivers, and then downfalls, and then eventually go to the oceans. And after also some water is pulled into the soil, and it would like a groundwater, that water which we actually drink. Yeah. So I already mentioned that thing. This experiment you have to have performed in your home. At that point also, there is a evaporation, because there is a hot water present in the lower glass, and there is a ice present on the upper glass. The lower glass, it shows evaporation, obviously. Then it would go upside, and it will melt the ice, and then condensation happen, and it would be precipitation, and the water from the ice, teeny teeny droplets came into the glass. So this is an experiment, and this also is an experiment which represent the gravity also, because the tiny droplet from the ice comes to the water due to the only gravity pull. I hope the crystal clear topic is from you. So now we are going to just recap all the things that we done. We actually know that what is condensation. Condensation, like when gas vapors accumulated in the clouds and form the teeny teeny droplets in the clouds itself. So it is like a gas to liquid. So now it is a precipitation. Precipitation also, it's like of a more gas, it is already liquid is present in the cloud, it changes into the solid form also. It is moreover like a precipitation also. Why it is precipitation? Because sometimes it also changes into the snow as well, na? Then evaporation. Evaporation is like moreover to liquid into vapors. So this is liquid into vapor is evaporation. Gas into liquid is condensation, and obviously condensation process as well from one place to the another place, that is precipitation, also we read about it. So all these things that we discussed in the class. So now this is recap for you. Tell me about how many phases of water in the water cycle that performed. Now tell me about the step that water cycle consists of, and at the end what force that you recognized that is drive the water cycle actually happen. So now all these things that we done, now I have a one question for you in the form of evaporation or the condensation part. Tell me why ice melt. Why ice melt? Very simple question, yet very interesting. In an upcoming class, you have to give me the answer that why ice melt when you placed it in on a tray in an open area, not in a obviously freezer. That we have to place it in an open area. Why ice melt? Okay, now if you have any query, then you can just drop a message to me. I'll just try to solve it and be connected. We will meet soon in one of the another interesting topic. I hope you are doing that well, and I hope the topic is clear to you. That's all for today. Happy reading, happy learning. Bye, folks.